What's going on, guys? King Trats here, back in another video on this channel, and today we have got a lot of stuff to go through. First things first, we did make ourselves a nice Stromboli. You can see this bad boy laid out. It's about 2 feet long. I like a giant boli. Shut up. These are super easy to make. I've made them forever. You can put whatever you want inside of them, but I'll give you the gist of what I did just real quick. First thing we did, we got a pizza dough. It's Pillsbury thin pizza dough. Don't use the thick one because it won't roll right. Stop, and you're gonna lay that out in a cookie sheet, baking pan, whatever long thing you used to stop, build pizza in, and then you're going to lay that out so it's nice and flat. I use ricotta cheese, fat-free ricotta cheese, which I season up with a little bit of that everything Italian seasoning that I have, and then we laid out some spinach, you know, for the health, and we have some ground beef, which I also seasoned up. You can season it any way you like, and then I just put that on there. You can see it in succession. We're gonna roll it all the way until you seal it on the sides and on the top, and then you are going to spray it on the top. You can use cooking spray, you can use egg wash. I don't use egg wash, you can use egg whites. I use cooking spray, that is fine, with some seasoning, and then you're gonna score some slits in it so that it doesn't bubble up all over the place. 425 degrees for 15 minutes. You can go in 5-minute increments after that to see how well you want it done. I believe mine was in there for about 18 minutes. Once that's done, you pull it out, let it cool, and that is what you see in your face right here, the boli. The drool is ready. Also, reviews, 2 more as well. We got a long lineup today. I saw these in Walmart. We got some fudge stripes. We have the chocolate fudge, strawberry fudge stripes, which I'm excited about. I love fudge stripes. I haven't had one in such a long time, so when I saw these, I was like, I gotta get up in here. And I saw this in the ice cream section when I picked up the pizza ice cream. I said, what the hell is this? Look at this. Can y'all read that? Biscuits and jam ice cream. Yeah, man. I don't know. That sounded wild. I said, nah, they ain't do something like this. Ice cream's getting wild these days, so this is the first thing that we're gonna do. Also, once we're eating, we are also going to do another ranking video. This one's for my nerds out there. Most of y'all won't even know what the heck I'm talking about, but it has been requested, and it is one of the biggest things I'm a fan of, so I am ranking in tier list my favorite Star Wars movies. That includes the actual canon stories, which is episodes 1 through 9, as well as the filler ones, movies like Solo and Rogue One, as well as some of the TV shows. Really only one, The Mandalorian, made its way in there. It's the only one that I actually thought deserved a ranking. Boba Fett, I'm just kind of N/A on right now because I don't know what the hell they were doing. I think they kind of botched it, and it didn't have it on the tier list, so I didn't put it in there. Anyway, let's start with the ice cream. There was no way I wasn't gonna do this first. Biscuits and jam ice cream. Like, I don't know what to think about this, but when I saw it, I said, what kind of biscuits? Southern style biscuits and blueberry jam ice cream. They even got themselves a little side thing. Their story is a lot shorter than Van Leeuwen. So our chefs blended sweet cream ice cream. Sweet cream ice cream. That just sounds weird when you say it out loud. With Southern style biscuit pieces and swirls of tart and bright blueberry jam throughout. That's just, y'all, I hope this is good because I have expectations for this. When I saw this, I had to get it. Can't see it yet. Y'all see me pop the top? Yes. That swirl looks so disappointing. Oh, man. Esther, please don't have nothing but look. That's the weakest swirl I've ever seen. All right, this is $2.50 a pint, so maybe we getting $2.50 a pint ice cream. That swirl looks so disappointing, bro. Oh man, okay, is it biscuits in here? I see a little biscuit, okay, little biscuit. You see it? Do you see it? Right on top? There's the blueberry tart swirl, whatever the hell that means. It's crusty as hell. Damn, man. I'm hella disappointed, I'm not gonna lie. You can see I'm gonna jab myself with a spoon. Ah, man. Okay. The ice cream base is pretty average. I didn't expect great ice cream. I expected more biscuit. Not getting a lot of biscuit. There is a decent amount of blueberry. It's nowhere near enough. Look at that. Damn, man. The blueberry tart, whatever shit they call it, is actually pretty good. There's just not enough of it. And these biscuits, here you go. Hey, this bit. Hold on. You see it? See it? Can you see it? Can you see it? Ooh, shit. Nah, hell no. Oh yeah. Ooh, Ooh. Ooh. That is not the biscuit that you want. That's a crusty ass biscuit. That is not, that's an L ass biscuit. The biscuit is crunchy. Doesn't really have much flavor. I would have wanted like a buttery. I'm not expecting like a great biscuit and some damn ice cream, but it's not buttery. It's got no flavor to it. It just feels like a piece of like hard bread. But yeah, damn man, I'm trying to find more biscuit, man. There's a big, look at this big ass biscuit. Go right here, look. It's my last one. Fuck. No. Nope. The blueberry tart is good. There's not enough. The biscuits are crusty as hell. And the ice cream is super mid. It's $2.50 a pint, so I took a chance. It sounded like a W. Sometimes we take L's and we move. Anyway. Redeem yourself. Let's get into these Fudge Stripes. I already pre-opened it because my fat ass fingers, I always break shit. But you can see, look, when I pop it, I ain't touched none yet. There's none missing whatsoever. But Fudge Stripes, I feel like, are massively underrated in the snack game. Keebler does their things with these. I don't know. I like these and the Grasshoppers. I think they're W's. They always have a nice little, we're going to grab two of them right here. So like I said, strawberry, chocolate fudge strawberry. They always have a nice little stripe going on here with a decent cookie. And I love the super, you know, covered fudge back. It's called the back, the bottom, whatever. Anyway. Right away, you want to get that head knot. I feel like, you know, okay, this is going to be like total nerd humor, but this is like the Thanos cookie, bro. This is like perfectly balanced as all things should be. Yes, I just went full Avengers on you, but there's just the right amount of fudge. That go with that strawberry. Oh, I like these a lot. They're perfect. Holy shit. Fudge Stripes are so underrated, I'm telling you. This is really good. The strawberry cookie itself, it has an artificial taste, but I like artificial strawberry. I like strawberry quick, and that's what it's giving me. Chocolate strawberry quick. If you like chocolate covered strawberries, you might not like these. If you like chocolate covered Yoo-hoo, you're gonna like these. I'm from the trenches. I ate a lot of Yoo-hoo. Drank a lot of Yoo-hoo in my life. Why I say you? Yoo-hoo. Drank a lot of Yoo-hoo quick in my life. These right here, I love these. There's nothing I have to complain about it. The balance. See the balance? And you flip it over with the stripe and the balance. As all things should be. W-ass cookie. If you like what I just said, all that stuff I just said, go cop these. Walmart. $2.99. W. Real ones. Welcome. I love y'all. Thank you for tuning in. We got our Boli. I have not tried it yet. I have not popped this bad boy open yet, but it should be cool by now. I pulled this right out of the oven before I started recording, so it's been about 10 minutes. Shouldn't burn my damn tongue, which is good. So I'm gonna try this first. We're gonna get into Star Wars. If you don't like Star Wars, maybe just chill out and listen a little bit, because I feel like you might. You might not have tried it. I know it seems kind of nerdy, but it's dope, man. Look, I got into Star Wars as I probably said about 10 years old. Anyway, let me cut this open. Like a violin. I always like the grand opening, the unveiling, where you know you messed up or not when you pop it open. I'd be nervous. Oh, I forgot. That's really good though. I got sauce to dip it in. Hold on. Grumpy sauce. This is when I did the Grumpies video. I'll be saving my sauces. You never know. Sometimes you don't have no use for them. Sometimes you do. But damn, this is good. Hold on. All right. Dunk me. Oh, yeah, bitch. Bow. Oh, man. Hold on. Whew. That is the thing of beauty. I season the ground beef like you would season, or like a sausage would be made. So it has like an Italian sausage flavor. So like Italian sausage, spinach, ricotta, and a Boli. Just drop it like that in your mouth. That's so good. That's so good. Okay. Star Wars, nerdies. Let's rock. We're going to get right into this. I don't need to preface this. You know what Star Wars is. If you don't, Star Wars is Star Wars. We're going to go right into this. We're going to start off in our lowest category. There's only one movie. They gave these rankings nerdy Star Wars terms. So the first ranking is called Younglings. Younglings, if you don't know, are young kids. It sounds familiar. They're in the academy, but they are not even officially Jedi. They just have the ability. I don't want to get into the crazy nerdy stuff about it, but they can be Jedis eventually, but they're the lowest on the totem pole. They don't make many appearances in Star Wars other than in the prequel trilogy. Forget it. Anyway, Youngling, one movie, that's it. Chapter 1, The Phantom Menace. If you've never watched The Phantom Menace, it absolutely sucks. Don't watch it. The bad thing about it is, if you don't know, Star Wars first came out, the original one was called Star Wars. It got renamed as Episode 4, A New Hope. So, that is actually the first one that was made. It was in 1977. In the late 90s, The Phantom Menace came out, which is actually Chapter 1. They call it the prequel trilogy, which it came out with Chapter 1, 2, and 3. The problem is, when I tried to introduce Star Wars to people, yes, this is going to make sense in a second, over the years, it feels weird to start with Chapter 4 because the story doesn't make sense, and you have to go back. So, I always don't want to start with The Phantom Menace. So I'm like, if I make them watch this bullshit, they ain't going to want to watch no Star Wars after this. Young Anakin Skywalker before he comes Darth Vader, it's just not good. I just don't like the story. Again, I don't, and don't get me started on Jar Jar Binks. They could have cut that bullshit out of the whole movie. I'm sorry for cursing, Mom, but that's just, it's a really bad movie. It's just terribly done. I don't like the story. You don't even need to watch it to watch Star Wars and have it make sense. The only good thing about it is two things. Darth Maul, one of the cool bad guys, villains. You've probably seen him, even if you don't know you've seen him. He's the dude that has like the black and red face and the horns right here. I don't want to get into his species because I'll go total nerd. And Qui-Gon Jinn is played by Liam Neeson. It's the only movie he was actually in, and I thought he was cool because Liam Neeson, you know, he's like, oh, what did I tell you, Anakin? You know how he is with Liam Neeson, but other than that, it is an L of a damn movie. So I'm moving right along. I'm going to talk about it. Moving into our Padawan category. A Padawan is a Jedi in training. They have a little braid. They're not Jedis yet, but they have an apprentice, which is their Jedi. He's their master. And you learn from him like an apprentice. Eventually, you become a Jedi and take on a Padawan of your own. Make sense? Anyway, two movies in here. First one, up here? Yeah, I don't even know. I don't mind reading that. We have The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi is Chapter 8 in the Star Wars movies. It is part of the sequel trilogy. It just came out maybe like 5 or 6 years ago. Probably longer now. Damn, I'm getting old. The story was middling. I didn't like much about the story at all. And it had a weird fight sequence. I know a lot of people don't want to talk about this stuff. But I'm not spoiling anything. Kylo Ren, which is like the bad guy in the sequel trilogy, teams up with Rey, who was the hero, and they like fight and like, I have to just talk about this like you assume I'm talking about. Okay, Snoke is in charge of the whole thing, the First Order. He is Kylo Ren's master. He is the supreme leader. And they kill him in like 5 minutes. There's no big fight. He just dies by a lightsaber. This guy's supposed to be powerful as hell, and he's just dead. Other than that, the movie sucks. But it's better than The Phantom Menace, so I had to put it somewhere. Next movie. This one might piss off some Star Wars fans. It isn't a part of the canon movies, but it is a part of Star Wars, and that is Solo. I don't know why. I love Han Solo as Harrison Ford. I could not get into this movie when it shows a young Han Solo going through his adventures with a young Lando Calrissian, played by Donald Glover, who, you know, he's supposed to be singing This Is America, but he's playing a young Billy D. Williams, and the story I wanted to like it. I watched it like 7 times, and every time I watch it, I'm like, this is just not good. There's nothing else to say about this. I'm going to fly through these because most people don't know what I'm talking about anyway, and I just want to rank them because I need it on paper. Moving right along, the Knight category. Knight meaning you're a Jedi Knight. You're not a high-ranking Jedi, but you are a Jedi. You're a Jedi Knight. One movie in here, we have Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. I actually like this movie. It's just not better than the other ones. It's right in the middle, where it should be. Attack of the Clones is actually the first Star Wars movie I actually went to see in the movie theaters. So it made my Star Wars nerdiness go into hyperspace. Wow, I just said that on camera. I like the story. It sets up things. It shows you why Anakin kind of starts to show glimpses of being in the dark side. It's the first time you get to see Yoda fight in a lightsaber duel, which is awesome. Count Dooku is played by the late Christopher Lee. Was real nice with the sword, and he had a little deviousness to him, but he was kind of a gentleman about it. And you saw Palpatine kind of setting his chess pieces in place. It was a good kind of like, okay, we're setting this all up, which is what the middle of a sequel usually is. For that, I feel like it did its job. Samuel L. Jackson plays Mace Windu. He has a purple lightsaber. He's the only Jedi in history with a purple lightsaber because when he wanted to play Mace Windu, this is a true story, by the way. When he wanted to play Mace Windu, he's a fan of the series. He told George Lucas he only had one request, which was to give him a purple lightsaber. So, Samuel L. Jackson, Mace Windu, has a purple lightsaber. It also shows the beginning, the makings of Boba Fett, how he was a clone of his father Jango Fett, which I did like. So it gives you a lot of like backstory to things. It shows you, okay, the Clone Wars are beginning, and this is all about to go to shit. That's what it did, and that's what it succeeded at. Therefore, I like the movie. We're right along into the Master category. Jedi Master. It sounds pretty self-explanatory. When you are a Jedi Master, you are a higher-ranking Jedi. Makes sense? Anyway, there are 3 movies in this category. Number 1, believe it or not, this is where this fits for me. We have Star Wars, aka A New Hope. The first original OG movie came out in 1977. Don't get me wrong, it is a great movie. Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, The Force, Ben Obi-Wan Kenobi, the start of Darth Vader. I put this ranking lower than other movies for 2 reasons. Number 1, it doesn't hold as much value to me as someone who was around in 1977 that got to watch it in theaters and kind of got to be a part of that hype, which I completely understand. By the time I watched it, it was actually like the 3rd Star Wars movie I'd ever watched because I'd seen The Phantom Menace as well as Attack of the Clones. Then I went back and watched Star Wars. It's a good movie. As a standalone movie, back then, I'm sure it would have blew you out of the water. For me, being a kid of the 90s, it looked very archaic. I've now gotten greater appreciation for it. And for Darth Vader, there was no Emperor back then. It just didn't expand the story. And its only crime is that they made better films than it going forward. That's its only crime. It's still a good movie. It's just one of the few times they made a trilogy, which is the original trilogy, that the other 2 are better than it. There's not a crime. It's just, it is what it is. Moving right along to the next one. We have Force Awakens. The Force Awakens is the first one of the sequel trilogy, which I also went to go see because I couldn't believe I was getting to see new Star Wars in films again. Again, it is a great movie. The problem with this movie, and I probably am being a little lenient on it, is I feel like the plot is exactly the same as A New Hope. The plots are almost identical. There's a new empire called the First Order, which replaces the Empire. But other than that, you have an aloof teenager on a desert planet. It's Rey instead of Luke Skywalker. You have a dark side person who fell to the dark side, who was supposed to be a savior instead of Anakin. Now it's Kylo Ren, who is actually Anakin Skywalker, aka Darth Vader's grandfather. He meets up with a pilot, which is Finn instead of Han Solo. You can go straight down the line, all the way up, including the Star Killer base, which is just literally a giant Death Star. People know what the Death Star is. It was a big mobile space station, which was planet killing. The Star Killer base, in this case, was an actual planet that they dug a hole in and then made a laser out of. Yeah, it's Star Wars. Okay, shut up. And because of that, I can't really give it any higher ranking. It was good. New storyline kind of advanced the plot past a little bit. You did kill Han Solo. Sad. But all in all, I still enjoyed the movie. Moving right along, though, into the next one, which is going to be a lot of people pissed off about this one, but it's actually The Rise of Skywalker. I didn't like it the first time I saw it. I kind of liked it the second time I saw it. By the third time, I actually really liked the movie. I felt like a good ending to the trilogy. I know people are going to say this movie sucked. I know it. But to me, it was a redemption arc for Kylo Ren. Rey kind of saved the day. Yes, that final sequence was stupid. Yes, the way they brought Palpatine back was kind of stupid. He's been there the whole time. Like, but there was still that fanboy in me that got to see, like, I remember watching the movie and being like, oh shit, it's Palpatine. You know, the Emperor, dark side, that guy, people who don't know. And for that, I actually really enjoyed the movie. I'm not going to go too crazy into these plots, but I rank it right there with the other ones. We actually have one more movie in there, which is Star Wars Rogue One, which is not a part of the actual canon, but it is a part of the, I call them the filler movies that they put in a kind of piece of stories together. Rogue One tells a story of how they got the Death Star plans that eventually got into the hands of Princess Leia, which let them blow up the Death Star. It told them the weakness in it, and it showed you how they went about it. It showed you how the person who built the Death Star actually put this small weakness because they wouldn't notice it. Which now, when you look back, because I have to go back to this, but the Death Star originally, when Luke Skywalker blew it up, it had a 2 meter wide hole that you had to shoot a cannon into, which you were like, wow, how the hell would, like, you know what I mean? And then you watch this and you're like, all right, well, that kind of makes sense. It had some decent characters. The ending wasn't a happy ending, quote, end quote, but the story was really good. I thought the acting was really good. I thought seeing Darth Vader for the first time kind of get into fight, like, with the new, you know, graphic abilities instead of, like, the old, you know, 1977 when they're kind of just, like, really slow with it. And there's a scene where he's in a tunnel. I mean, it just blew my mind. Freaking fanboy galore. He kind of force chokes a guy and throws him, and it's just awesome. So for that, just that sequence alone puts it in the master category, believe it or not. But now we're getting into, like, damn, these movies are good. Council member. There are only a finite number of Jedi on the council member category, which is literally like, trying to put this in the regular thing, like you're the president's cabinet if we live here. You know, like you're a member of parliament if you're in the UK. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Like, you're in that room. You make the decisions. You make things go. So that is what the council members are. And the first one we have is actually Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. I love Return of the Jedi. Always have. The Ewoks were a little stupid, but it was like, and when you first saw Star Wars, you didn't know they were going to make a sequel trilogy. It was like that ending that I feel like I needed. Darth Vader's redemption arc, coming back to the light side before he finally goes. Luke Skywalker getting to be this badass Jedi Master. Seeing Jabba the Hutt in his palace. Princess Leia in the bikini, which became like the thing. Rest in peace, Carrie Fisher. You're an angel. But that's why I have such a good for that movie. It was like the end-all, be-all, the end-to-all battles. Okay, this is where you wrap the pretty story up in a bow. Everybody gets a happy ending. Fireworks, and so on. So that is why I put it there. Next up, we actually have the newest member of the Star Wars GOAT series, in my opinion, which is a TV show. If you haven't seen it, and you're a Star Wars fan, you must live under a damn rock. We are talking about The Mandalorian. So well done. So well done. The story is set. I love that show. Like I said, the story is set between episodes 6 and 7, so it's after the Empire falls, before the First Order exists. It's about a Mandalorian, who's a bounty hunter. Mandalorians are not a species, but a race in the Star Wars world of people who were kind of like a warrior culture. And by the time this takes place, in the old Jedi days, the Mandalorians were an actual planet, and a race of warrior people who did a lot of good, not good things, but bad things, but they were to be feared. By the time this comes, Mandalorians are kind of disbanded, and they are all doing odd jobs for the most part. A lot of them are bounty hunters, like Boba Fett, who is a man, who technically you found out he wasn't, but back then you thought he was. Anyway, man named Mando, he has a bounty, which is a child. People know him as Baby Yoda, aka Grogu, finds him, ends up building rapport with him, and they're just like adventures, and it just ties up so many things. Like the fanboy in me for this series, if anybody ever watched it with me, you would think I was 3 years old. And the cherry on top for me was seeing in the final episode of the first season, or was it the second season, Luke Skywalker coming in being like this grand master now, where he's like a total badass. But if you haven't seen it, the show is so well done. I don't want to go too into it because I'm not going to be here forever. But I absolutely love the movie. And finally, we have our Grandmasters. There are 2 movies in here, one of which I'm going to put as my GOAT, because people want to say I don't want to pick one. I did. So, the Grandmaster in the Jedi is literally, well, it was Yoda for a very long time. The Jedi of all Jedis, the boss of all bosses, the capo de tutti capo, which means the boss of all bosses. But that is what these movies are. They are the best. Starting off, believe it or not, y'all can get pissed off, my number 2. Star Wars of all time. Empire Strikes Back. Yes, I did not pick it as number 1. I knew everybody picks Empire. It is the sexy pick. It is the fair weather pick. It is what most people pick when it comes to Star Wars. Such a good movie. And I couldn't imagine being there in theaters when you found out this is the movie that actually had the I am your father line. By the way, it's not Luke, I am your father. It's actually no, I am your father. I don't want to get too nerdy. That is the movie that actually did that. What people don't know is when that movie came out, you had no idea that Darth Vader was Luke Skywalker's father. That's why it was such a big line. Even the actors didn't know. James Earl Jones did the voiceover for Darth Vader, so he knew. And I believe they told Mark Hamill right before they finished Luke Skywalker. But nobody else on set had any idea that Darth Vader was Luke Skywalker's father. So that was heavy. They get in a fight. It was like good versus evil, Luke, this up-and-coming Jedi, the last one at this point. And Darth, the embodiment of evil, the Empire, the Emperor comes in, and it was just like, it's amazing. Boba Fett gets in there, the Cloud Planet on Bespin. You can go down the line with this movie, but it's a masterpiece, an absolute masterpiece, and I have nothing wrong with it, other than I wasn't born back then. Therefore, I just don't put it in the same category, which is why the next one is really going to piss you off, but I'm saying it anyway. My favorite Star Wars movie of all time, believe it or not, I know there are some people who agree with me, but most don't, is actually Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Yes, it is the best. I don't care what anybody says. For me, that movie is as good as it gets. Don't care if you like Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker. Don't care. It shows what happens to Darth Vader. How did he go from being Anakin, the person who was supposed to destroy the Sith, not join them, it's in the movie, and turn into Darth Vader? The embodiment of evil. What made him fall from A to B? And it shows it exquisitely, in my opinion. I watched it 3 times in the movies in succession. The first day it came out on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday I took my mom. I swear to you, this was back then, 2006. True story. I liked the way it looked. I loved the planets that they had in it. Mustafar system, the lava planet. And don't get me started on what is still the greatest lightsaber duel in the history of Star Wars. Anakin versus Obi-Wan Kenobi, fighting for about 4 minutes. Just lightsabers swinging all over the place. Duel of the Fates playing in the background. I don't care what you say. Yes, there are some dumb parts in it. There's some dumb parts in every Star Wars movie. That includes The Empire Strikes Back. But this movie, for me, I am a millennial. The prequel trilogy for millennials is the one that was around when we were young and in theaters. I watched Revenge of the Sith 3 times in the theaters. I bought the DVD. I bought the video game. It took me from being a Star Wars fan to an absolute Star Wars fanboy nerd. I can't believe it. Why do you have a lightsaber in your house? Why is there a giant poster of Darth Vader? That is the movie for me. And I could go on and on and on about why I love it, but I gave you the main points of why I think it's great. People, especially the Gen Xers, people who were around when we're children, or adults when the original Star Wars trilogy came out, really don't like it because of the CGI. I grew up with CGI. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Is Hayden Christensen a little brooding at times and kind of annoying? Yes. Not gonna lie about that. Ewan McGregor, I think, is a master as Obi-Wan Kenobi. Watching Order 66 get executed? How did the Jedi fall? Why are there no Jedi left? What the hell happened? How did Palpatine end up looking the way that he did? Mace Windu falling from the window. I mean, I can just go on. The story is great. I don't care what anybody says. I'll say it over and I'll die on that hill. Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, is my #1 Star Wars movie of all time. You can fight me in the comments about it. I know some people are actually Star Wars fans and I can't believe I said that because it's, oh, could we put Empire? Stop making the pick just because everybody else made the pick. It's the easiest pick in the world. You want to really show me something? Pick another Star Wars movie and tell me why. For me, Revenge of the Sith is absolutely goated. I love that movie. I might watch it again tonight. Watching Order 66 get executed, yes, it was sad to see, but seeing Anakin with his eyes yellow and then how he ended up getting inside of the Obi-Wan, what happens, everything about it, I just think it's perfect. And it ends, it's not a happy ending at all, but you're like, so there it is. So there's the Empire. So there's Darth Vader. So that's why Obi-Wan was here. So that's why Luke Skywalker is here. Why is Luke Skywalker not with his sister Leia? It answers all of those questions in that movie. That's that. So those are my Star Wars rankings. If you disagree with me, which I'm sure you did, go on and let me know. But I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and I can sit here and spit everything you want. We can chop it up about Star Wars for God knows how long. Most of you, this went over your head, which I completely get. But for people who love Star Wars, you know exactly where I was going with it. Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, is my #1. There it is. But we will be back, not in the kitchen tomorrow. We had lots of reviews. We'll be doing more tiers, more rankings. Let me know if you want to see more rankings, what you want to see, because I'm not trying to flex, but I feel like I have a pretty wide, weird range of topics that I'm just kind of like into or well-versed in. So let me know. We're definitely doing some food ones, definitely doing some movie ones. Maybe want to do some music ones too. Music is tough for me because I love music just as much, but let's get into it. Sports, obviously. Anything else, just let me know. Anyway, we'll be back tomorrow. More content. I love y'all. Hand signs. They made it to YouTube.